Vols are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back to Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Thursday, January 19th. So sorry for the multiple starts, late start, all the starts combined, technical difficulties. I don't know if they were our fault is the best part. We tried and something was happening, but we are back. Tough first half, but like the Vols, like the Road Dogs, we bounce back. We're going to be better in the second half. We're going to get this thing done. We've got a great show for you guys. We are going to talk about that win. Listen, a win is a win is a win is a win. I know we say that a lot during basketball season, and that's just kind of the case when you want to be better on the defensive end, but it is what it is. And
hey, ball's covered. Who cares?
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people, and we're going to get into this too a little bit. I saw someone say, I'd be shocked if Tennessee gets to 50. Well, I mean, I would have been shocked. I was shocked too, but save the hot takes. Save them. But yeah, we are going to talk about that win. We've also got a little football talk. It's an exciting time to be involved everywhere on campus, but it's football season's turned it around. Baseball season, we don't have much baseball to talk, but got fired up with the media day post. They're going to drop jerseys here soon. Listen, it's good to be, and listen, people can dog on Tennessee fans for, oh, you just knew baseball started in 2021, which by the way isn't true. But I mean, give us something to cheer about and we'll be there.
Oh yeah. That's all you gotta do. I mean, tennis is ranked 6th, so everything's cool.
Do we need to show up to the tennis facility? Shirts
Paint it
off?
up, yeah, tarps
All
off.
right, yep. Let's do it. I'm down. I'm absolutely down. Before we do get in the show, I do want to tell you guys about our good friends at Underdog. Underdog is Knoxville's best sports collectibles store with a wide selection of UT cards, autographs, and memorabilia. Whether you're looking for a Peyton Manning autographed helmet or the most recent Topps baseball card release, you'll find it at Underdog. The shop is owned by UT graduates and proudly supports UT sports by hosting NIL events throughout the year. If you missed the Maui Ahuna, don't sweat. I mean, that sucks. I hate you missed it. Don't sweat it. You suck. Don't sweat it. They've got plenty more lined up. It's very exciting. They've got a lot of good stuff going on at Underdog, so make sure you're following them on all the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, to keep up with those. Stop by the University Commons Shopping Center next to Publix and Domino's to check them out. They're open 6 days a week with live YouTube shows 3 nights per week. Remember, always bet on the Underdog. Shout out to Underdog, greatest collectible shop of all time. I don't think it's a hot take.
Hard to disagree.
Don't think it's a hot take.
Hard to disagree. Love those guys. Also got a big giveaway coming up, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, just a lot going on. Baseball season getting close. Basketball's in full swing. Football never stops. So, like you said, it's great to be a Vol right now.
Absolutely great to be a Vol. All right, let's get into it. Let's get right into it. The Road Dogs beat the Home Dogs. Listen, that might have been the ugliest basketball for the first 20 minutes. I don't know if that's arguable from both teams, by the way. It's not just Tennessee, thankfully. Otherwise, Tennessee probably wouldn't have been in it. And then you could probably extend that beyond 20 minutes. But listen, the second half, you kind of figure it out. I mean, lighten it up from 3. It's frustrating, but I mean, what else can you ask for other than to go on the road on a Tuesday night in the SEC and get the dub?
Yeah, I mean, and like we covered the original spread before Vegas knew that Vescovi and Key were going to be out. We covered the spread. So, at the end of the year, like, people aren't going to look on what Tennessee did in the first half against Mississippi State on the road. They're going to look at the overall game. Tennessee won by 11 points, and that's all that matters. I think they got – I think you needed that from Zakai. I think you needed him to make – like you told me earlier, he probably shouldn't start ever unless he absolutely has to. But I do think it was good to see him kind of take over a basketball game.
Yeah, for sure. And he wasn't the only one. Julian Phillips gets involved, and he looks like a guy that could be one of Tennessee's best freshmen. He's obviously still got a long way to go. Of all time. He's got a long
an all-time show. I'm loving it.
It is. We've caught a lot of all times out here. And I mean, he still has a long way to go, but it's kind of like Kennedy last year early in the season. You see flashes of it, and you just need him to figure it out for an entire game. I'm not talking 40 minutes, 37 like he did on Tuesday night. I'm not talking that, but play like that for an entire game throughout conference play, which I know is a big ask. But no, Zakai, for him to come take over, and I'm not dogging him for saying he shouldn't start. He says he wants to come off the bench. I'm merely agreeing with him, Landon. That's it. But we see his starts just have been lackluster. And I tried to think of the word, obviously not hard enough. But he plays with a lot of passion. He plays with a lot of energy. And I think when you can't see what the pace of the game is, how the game's going, I think it's hard to take that and kind of start off on your own. And then you're kind of trying to figure it out in the run. I think it's just difficult. And I think how he plays works for him. And it's obviously worked for Tennessee up to this point outside of the Kentucky game. So I think he just it is who he is.
Yeah, and it's got to be tough to, right before game time, just be like, hey, our two primary ball handlers are out. You're going to play all 40 minutes. You're going to be the primary ball handler. And without Vescovi, that's your leading scorer. So you're going to be dependent on to score a lot, probably more than usual as well. So I just think that it seemed like there was a lot of pressure on him because in the first, I think, 12 minutes is when he had his 5 turnovers. After that, he didn't have any.
Which is insane.
So, yeah, maybe it was just like that. I think Rick Barnes told him it was just like, I think when Zakai was meeting with the media, he said this, that Barnes is like, hey, I'd rather you shoot it early in the shot clock than turn it over late in the shot clock. So he just started shooting. And maybe that's all it took. Maybe it was, he was relying too much on dribbling, trying to get to the basket because he wasn't hitting. And then you see that first one go in, and confidence just seemed to be through the roof. And, he went 4 for 4 in the second half and had a fantastic game.
And talking about confidence, too, I think maybe there could have been some hangover from that Kentucky game. You said it really well. You might have even tweeted this, but you said it on Sunday. It's like he made these incredible plays getting to the basket and just couldn't finish with like you said, the easiest part of the play. And so that's got to hurt your confidence.
Yeah, whiskey dick.
Yeah. That's an interesting way to describe it, but yeah. So to definitely bounce back from, like I said, probably his worst performance in a Vol uniform. What else can you ask for than going 40 minutes, 24 points, 6 rebounds, probably his lowest assist total on the year. I haven't looked that up. Before probably at least matches his low, which is pretty crazy how much he impacted the game still. So, yeah, I mean, what a game from him. And then I can't say enough about Julian Phillips. He's so much fun to watch. He's aggressive. He's playing with confidence right now. It's crazy with the size Tennessee has. And I think talent around the rim that he's still one of your best guys at the rim.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, he's the one guy that can go get a bucket whenever he wants to. And I think he does lack some confidence in that a little bit. I don't know if it's just like trying to not do too much, but sometimes it's like, dude, if you get the first pass and you got to wait to the rim, go to the rim. Don't worry about the offense. Don't worry about hurting somebody else's feelings. I don't know if that's how it is, but it does seem like he's a little timid at times to just go get his.
I think he's gaining it. Like, it looks like he's getting
100%.
more. But yeah, no, I agree. That's what's been, I don't know if issue is the right word, but that's what's been the problem with him. I think I agree with you. I think it's been confidence, and it looks like he's gaining that, which is is going to be big because this stretch is just going to get tougher, unfortunately.
And him and Josiah, I think them being able to knock down some shots and get some buckets only helps Zakai out. I mean, not only with just assists, but I think taking a little bit of pressure off. Hey, you don't have to do it all. Like we're gonna help out because I think the loss of this Vescovy. Sorry, people keep.
Who cares? Who cares?
Santi. I think that was a huge focal point of your offense. A guy that's constantly moving, and so it just seemed like in the first half they seemed kind of stagnant, but. The second half, whatever they did, I don't know if they drank that, drink that special juice from Holes or whatever it was, but it seemed to work.
It seems like Rick Barnes, whatever he's saying at halftime this year is working. That team's come out of half fired up a lot this season, which, I mean, if I have to pick a half that you're going to be better in, I'm picking the second half for sure. So that's a positive, I guess. Obviously, would take both preferably. But, yeah, I'm taking the second. Pretty crazy. I mean, we talked about, again, I hate to harp on just how bad Tennessee was for a lot of that game. But it took a 6-0 run there at the end of the half. That wasn't a pretty 6-0 run either, by the way.
No.
It's not like Tennessee just rattled off 3 possessions, 6 points. It was a grind to get there, to get to 23. And it took that just to get it tied up at the half. And I don't know about you. I still didn't think we had momentum. Maybe it's because we had 23 points and that's it. But I wasn't like, oh, yeah, here we go. Second half's going to be fired up.
Well, it seemed like we should have been down by 20.
It felt like we were.
Yeah, and the fact that we were tied at halftime, I think, was like, man, I mean, we can't play any worse.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was
a tale of two halves. I mean, I don't know if Rick Barnes just like, hey guys, it's 0-0 because
literally pretty much.
Which is
a couple buckets the way it is.
We had Peyton Manning, I think, recently was saying how during halftime there's no such thing as halftime adjustments because they literally like go in and come right back out. Did you hear him say that?
Yeah, I did. I do think
maybe basketball's different, but I just thought it was funny that Rick Barnes, turns it around at halftime in this game, and Peyton Manning just kind of said that.
Was there any adjustments, though? Did you think, oh, man, they really just dialed it up on all? It just felt like you shot better, and you didn't turn the ball over as much. And
it's crazy when you don't turn the ball over, and you happen to score some points. It's crazy.
Right. It is. It's weird how that works. It can get you to win. I don't want to stray too far away, but I found that comment funny because I'm like, Peyton, really? You don't make any halftime adjustments? You just go in there and drink some Gatorade and walk back. Come on, man. I'm so I don't ever think you can't go into halftime and go, we're throwing this game plan out. Let's do it. Like, you can't. And I think some people do expect that when you see big, like, come from behind victories in the second half. And that's just not the case. But Peyton, come on. You don't have to lie to the world. Let Eli lie.
Yeah.
Let Eli lie. Dude, Zakai, I know he's the guy. He's a different animal, man.
He is. He's a freak.
He's so much fun to watch. And that's what makes him lovable for me. Like that. I know he's a good player too, which obviously helps, but he just plays his butt off. I think it would be if you see him go away in the second half and not that he played good in the first, but completely go, you're not shocked. Like that's how that night turns out for a lot of players. Not Zakai, not on the road, not in the SEC play. He stays with it, and sure enough, he ends up with 24 points.
And it's funny, I was frustrated with Zakai, but I don't know if it's just because he's so small that like I can't be that mad at him. It's like that like little kid. But anytime like Olivier or Urosh does something, it drives me up a wall. That's the only way I can describe it is it's the hype factor.
I'll tell you, it is the hype factor, but it's not why you think. It's little guys just – you have to. Because I'm not saying Olivier and Urosh don't try their best when they're out there, but they're just slower, they're bigger. When a little guy's working hard, you know it, and there's zero question about it. And this is coming from a little guy. And it's easy for people to point at you and go, he's working his tail off. He might not have it tonight. He might suck, but he's trying. He is giving it his best effort. and coaches love you for that. And so, yeah, you can't ever be mad at Zakai because you can see him working his tail off. And and a lot of people, and we will get into this later because we actually have a question about it. You can't go away from him, especially like you said, when you have Tyreek Key and Vescovy out. Like you can't. There's really no one else to go to bring the ball up the court consistently. It had to be him, and it was him Tuesday night. And Josiah's handled the ball some throughout his career, but I also just don't know with his injury, like his injuries. I don't know if you want him handling the ball, being the primary ball handler right now for any amount of time.
Yeah, it just seems like he's perfectly comfortable with pulling up and shooting, right at the free throw line or something like that. He's not really trying to get to the rim.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but he's also, his shot, it's gotten prettier. He's worked on it. He's crafted it. It's looking.
It was straight on.
Yeah.
When he first started. Yeah.
Right. So I'm loving that. Speaking of Urosh and just big guys who kind of just fumble around, I'm not saying that the guy did. I don't even know who it was. Did it maliciously because I know he didn't. They ran into each other when he rolled his ankle. But where was that guy going? There's no reason for him to be in Urosh's way, and sure enough, rolls up his ankle on him.
Well, so that happened, and then Wednesday I was watching the Arkansas-Missouri game. Which, if you watch that, we deserve some kind of award for watching that whistle fest. But Kobe Brown for Missouri, they're like throwing the ball up the court, and he just like turns his ankle. Like the game's over, pretty much. Like the game's in hand, like it's a 4-point game, and he just rolls his ankle.
Just on the court, no collision, nothing.
Yeah, no.
Dang. Do we call it? Is that the wood monster? I've never heard that, but it's kind of dirty.
It is. They might have. Do they have a body farm underneath their court?
It was at Missouri, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who knows what's going on? They're like the Appalachian, man. Ton of caves. You never know what's going on in Missouri. You've seen Ozark.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Based on a true story. Not many people know that.
That is.
It's a documentary. Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was one of those people that didn't know.
That I don't know if you're messing with me for me messing with you, or if we're just doing a bit together and I'm too stupid to figure it out. It's not based on a true story.
I was rolling with it.
Okay. I didn't know what. I had no idea where we were going with that. So I just wanted to clear that up for you were playing. If you were playing a bit, you played it too well. I didn't want to. I didn't want to get tagged with misinformation on this Twitter post.
Yeah.
Elon's after people, man. He's after people harder than the libs right now. I mean, he is just grinding. I've seen a lot of misinformation stuff out lately.
So he's the reason why Florida can't pay Jaden Rashada.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk about that. I'm so excited.
We'll get to that in a second.
So
I do want to keep talking about this game because we're talking about Zakai a lot, and he deserves a ton of credit. He didn't even seem like he was tired after the game, which is insane to me. But Julian Phillips, man, double-double. I mean, he's Tennessee's leading rebounder right now. I don't know if that's a shot at our bigs, but, I think what's something like a junior pro coach would always say, hey, you're going to go out there, just give it your all. And that seems to be what Julian Phillips is doing. And the fact that he is that talented and given that effort is pretty incredible.
Yeah, and not that he deserves a ton of credit for being a leading rebounder. He works to get a lot of them. He's one of those guys that you get really frustrated playing with because it's like the ball always falls to him because he knows where to be. He's
so long too.
He's played the game a lot, and you can tell he knows the right spots to be in. It's frustrating to play against, and that deserves a ton of credit. I do think our lack of rebounding and bigs, because I've not been entirely disappointed with them this season. I think they've put body on body, they've moved guys out, and they've rebounded pretty well for the most part throughout the season. We're forgetting Saturday. That's wiped from our minds. But I think, too, with Tennessee shooting more threes, with pretty much every team playing the long ball now, those rebounds are just going to come off longer. And I think that is part of seeing a guy like Julian Phillips and even Josiah getting more rebounds.
Speaking of rebounds, Zakai had 6. Urosh had 2.
Yep. Kumwa did have 9, which I don't think we did one with Kumwa.
No, I don't think we end up doing that.
But I think a good example of bigs. It's almost difficult to get rebounds when you're just body on and you're moving. Toby Awaka. I mean, that's a guy that he should be credited with a ton of assists on rebounds.
I'm not saying that. I'm not questioning Rick Barnes. Like some people were like, "Where's B.J. Edwards at?" when Zakai, was fumbling the ball everywhere, and it turns out we don't win that game without him. But Toby Awaka, I just would have a hard time not playing it.
Yeah, that effort thing, which he's not a small guy, but you can tell that man's working hard every second.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he just seems like a freak. He doesn't look like a freshman. Julian Phillips, talent-wise, probably doesn't look like a freshman, but, if he walked into a room and be like, yeah, he's probably a freshman. Toby Awaka, I would be like, yo, how old is this man?
And that's the best part is that he has some freshman tendencies. He makes some freshman mistakes, but that's a 4-year guy, and you're going to benefit from him for 3 more years. Like you said, he's
guy
guy
that
menace. Right. Kumwa plays a little bit better on the offensive end than him. Urosh has had moments this year where he's playing a lot better than him. So it is going to be tough to kind of grind out those minutes. But, man, when he's in the game –
coach effort.
No, when he's in the game, that defense just feels more tenacious, I think is the right word. And then you see every single ball that goes up, you see guys getting moved around in the paint. So, yeah, I would love some more Toby Awaka.
Yeah. Also, we were talking about Urosh, I think maybe Sunday when we were talking about the Kentucky game where his only shot is that hook shot.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, that's how he rebounds too. It's just slapping it out. He does the same motion every single time.
I hate the slap rebound.
It kills me.
I get why you do it, but there's some where I'm like, you decided to slap that when the ball came off the rim. You could have grabbed it.
Yeah. Also, when you're 7 feet, I just don't like that.
At least I think he only got called over the back one time in the game, and it was a bad call.
Yeah. Yeah, Tennessee had 17 turnovers in that game. I mean,
how many came in the first half? Do we have that? I should have looked that up because I was wondering.
The guy had all 5.
Yeah, I would guess at least 12 came in the first half.
Yeah, I would say.
Which is crazy. I mean, it is crazy how you turn it around. It's just frustrating to see that in the first half.
And Tennessee deserves a ton of credit for that, for scoring 47 in the second half. But we got to call a spade a spade. Mississippi State is a bad basketball team. They're not good.
They're credit to them for coming out. You talk about can't coach effort. I mean, they played their butts off. Yeah, they're just not good.
Yeah, I mean, Moore, I think. He doesn't even start for him. He was their best player by
Shaquille
far.
Moore, I think.
Yeah.
20 points.
Yeah, he was by far their best player. And maybe they think the same about Tennessee as Zakai should be starting, but I mean, at least we have some guards. I was not impressed at all. I mean, who was number 11 for them?
I don't know. Is that the guy that ran into Roche though?
I don't know. He had the ugliest shot.
Yes, he did.
Oh my God.
I respected it so much that he pulled the trigger so fast though, and that it went in sometimes. I just respect it. He's the guy that he doesn't care. He's jacking up shots. Landon, you can't score if you don't shoot.
Shoot or shoot, but holy hell. I'm like, dude, if you could find a shot, you might be really good. But man,
I don't think you can. So to teach him to shoot, you would have to essentially do what Steph Curry did to relearn to run. Cannot.
But Rick Barnes has done that multiple times.
But I don't think he's changed their entire shooting stroke.
Okay, well that needs
you can't fix
full
that.
makeover.
You can't. Yeah, exactly. You cannot that is.
Well, whoever taught him how to shoot like that should I don't go play in traffic because.
He learned on that rubber court that was all beat up in Young Campus. That's exactly where he learned that shot.
All I could think about was dude, if I was 6'3", a little bit faster, a little bit more athletic, oh, dude, my shot's way better than his.
And his probably still goes in at a higher percentage. So how does that make him feel?
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm going to get to something like that too. I can't wait. I'm in a just yelling mood. I'm angry at the world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was in a Twitter argument for way too long today with some Alabama fan. I don't think he saw the irony in that is, I don't know, maybe he was leaning into it. I don't know. He ended up blocking me. So credit to him. He ended the conversation.
I love that. I love when people get blocked.
I don't block though. I don't block. It's not my style. I'm a little too short for it.
I don't block either. I do block like spam accounts.
See, I'm kind of curious now, like how many accounts I have blocked.
Like, I just don't want that just showing up on my timeline. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're like sitting on a plane or something.
Yeah, it's like I'm at work and I'm like, dude, what is this? It's usually Chad who retweets it.
He's liking it. He's gonna blame it on his fat thumbs too.
Yeah.
I know that move.
That's kind of all I got for this game. I do want to get into LSU just a tad. Not really a whole lot. LSU's a bad basketball team too. Lost their last 5 games to Auburn, Alabama, Florida, A&M, Kentucky. Auburn, Alabama destroyed them. They're just not good.
Yeah.
KJ Williams is their best player. He leads them in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks. Other than that, he's a Missouri State transfer. There's a couple of those on the same. Most of them are it's a whole team of portal guys is all that it is. And it's not working. I get like you had a roster overhaul, appreciate it for, that was kind of the reason we got Julian Phillips. But LSU is just not a good basketball team. Maybe they get back to that in the future, but as of right now, yikes.
Yeah, and I should play into Tennessee's favor on Saturday, but we will obviously see. Did we ever get an update on Vescovy or Tyreek Key?
Well, Key was just illness. He was back in practice, so he should be good.
Freaking COVID.
Vescovy was practicing, but kind of getting back into it. So I don't think he is projected to start. So I'd lean more toward no, probably. You need him healthy. You don't need him to fight that thing the whole season. So
no, absolutely
get him healthy
and I think too. A lot of people have wondered kind of what happened to Tyreek Key. I think it's even as a starter, especially because Zakai is still getting a ton of minutes. He's getting starter minutes. I think it's difficult. You have there's only one ball. And so I think Tyreek Key, not that he's going to be Vescovy, but I think he can fill in, and I think you'll see more shots go up from him. He was playing a lot when Josiah too he looked better statistically when Josiah was out too. So that's another guy you're sharing the ball with. So I think he could come in and supplement a lot of what you lose without Vescovy. So I'm interested to see if he's back, if what that looks like. And like you said, that's expected. So
yeah. We do have a question before we get into football. We did have a question about baseball. Credence Wood asked us last week, and we missed it, but I want to get to it right now while I'm thinking about it. So Credence Woods asked, your series this season you're looking forward to the most, so baseball-wise?
I've probably got 2.
Yeah, I've got a couple circled in there.
So I went home and away. Just off the top of my head, because there's an away series I'm excited for, but obviously I won't be going to it. That's Arkansas.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah,
yeah, and I'm not saying Tennessee goes in there, rolls them, and sweeps or anything, or if Tennessee even wins the series. Arkansas is obviously going to be a good baseball team again this year. Team coming off an Omaha trip. If you didn't see their rings that they got for it, they're coming off an Omaha trip. But, I just think it'll be a good baseball game mixed with the absolute just hate from both fan bases for each other.
Yeah, shenanigans.
And I love – my favorite, too, about the Arkansas baseball fan base is they think they're more well-liked than Tennessee's. No. We're both equally hated. They hate you, too. You call yourself the Omahawks. They hate you.
Get it printed on your stadium.
Yeah, they hate you. Trust me. I'm not saying they hate you more than they hate us, but they hate you.
Yeah. What was your next one?
My next, it's another easy one. It's Vanderbilt. again, I'm not going to go ahead and chalk up a sweep to it or anything like that, but getting Tim Corbin and his team back in Lindsey Nelson, seeing whatever antics he's got dialed up for this series, it's going to be a fun one. I think my next one after that is Florida. If I had to pick a non-obvious one, which maybe Florida's obvious, but that's a team that's got top 5, I think, ranked recruiting class coming in. Should be a really good baseball team. You kind of swept them by the hair on your chin last year. It took a Christian Moore home run, then a Christian Scott robbery to keep you in it, which I think that would have still put them down by 1. I think that home run, but it ended the game. It was a walk-off robbery. So yeah, I'm excited for that series too, and that's both of those are home, which adds to that fire.
Yeah, I think Vanderbilt is definitely the obvious answer, just because it's a rivalry now. Yeah, it's Vanderbilt. Tim Corbin checking bats. I think in a away series that it's got to be at the top of the list. It's LSU.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see the home run derby that is Tommy Tanks and Blake Burke, and you got Chase Dolander going against Paul Skeen, and Dylan Cruz, and you got Maui Ahuna and Zane Denton and Christian Moore. I mean, there's just so much. I wish it was here. There's so much major league talent.
Yeah, I think that's the best series for the on the field stories. That, all the names you just listed off, and they're going to be 2 of the top teams in the country. And then not to diss Arkansas's team at all. I'm not saying that, but when you talk about off the field stories, you've got Vitello returning home, not home, but where he started his career. It's just but LSU for sure is probably going to be some of the best baseball you see in college baseball for the entire year.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of fans, especially when we were in LSU, kind of point out kind of choke artists, and hey, rightfully so. We choked against Notre Dame. I don't think there's any way around that. But LSU, with all the talent you brought in, with all the talent you already had,
better live up to it, man.
It's pressure's on you if you don't make it to Omaha. That could be. I don't know what their rotation looks like. I know Paul Skeen's he's a guy from Air Force that can play. He can pitch and he can catch as well, which is insane. And
that is interesting.
That kind of sounds like he's playing for both teams. But
Glenn Jacobs just canceled you for something.
Yeah, I don't know what his what their rotation looks like, but ours is pretty dang good. But that who they have: Trey Morgan, Dylan Cruz, Tommy Tanks. That lineup is nasty.
Yeah. Speaking of Trey Morgan too, I loved when we had Kiv on after, I think it was just throughout the season in 2021, and we're talking about how the student section was dogging Trey for the whole series. Never let up on him. And Kiv's laughing about it and goes, he's really good. he's really good. Yeah.
And Dylan Cruz and Chase Dolander, that matchup it could decide who goes number 1 in the draft.
Yeah, potentially.
So, yeah, it should be fun. Yeah, but wanted to get to that question real quick. Also, another one I'm looking forward to, Kentucky. Let's get revenge, baby.
Revenge is good. I like Founders Park in Columbia. That's a good park to travel to. So that'll be it's very cool that I think there's a lot of great places to play in the SEC in college baseball.
Yeah.
So that makes it almost makes every series interesting.
I do want to go over Tennessee's 5 weeks gauntlet of a schedule that they go through. Number 5 Texas A&M, number 1 LSU, at number 1 LSU, number 7 Florida, at number 8 Arkansas, and then number 10 Vanderbilt.
Yeah, bring it on, man. Let's do it.
If that don't prepare you for Omaha, I don't know what will.
Right. And Tennessee opens up in less than a month, February 17th, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yep, it's coming up.
Playing
9 days.
Yeah. I didn't know Grand Canyon was in Phoenix, by the way.
I actually passed it going to the airport.
Great basketball school, by the way.
Grand Canyon.
Oh, if you passed it going to the airport, then I've passed it as well, I guess.
Well, I guess like I've passed like the entrance. I don't guess I've passed like the whole entire thing, but yeah, it's like right off an exit, like as you go toward the airport. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, let's get to some rankings.
And I do want to preface this with we're going to talk about recruiting rankings. When we talk about how like recruiting rankings, I don't mean they don't matter because obviously they matter. We talked about it, they can correlate to national championships and
They only
conference
matter when they're
championships.
in our favor.
Right, but I think it is a point to say that Tennessee has a great class, and there's no denying that even without these rankings moving. And I do want to I'm not saying this class is elite because I think Tennessee's recruiting still has to take another step to be ultra competitive, but it is year 3 for Josh Heupel. But when we say rankings don't matter, these guys are on campus. Like they don't anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
But we're going to enjoy it. Like you just said, we're going to enjoy it.
I mean, you landed the number 1 player in the country in Nico.
Do you think Arch got docked for losing so many IDs?
Maybe. That could be it, yeah.
Can't hang on to the bag?
And just turnovers, fumbles. So he's going to be remembered for. I don't know. I just think it's really like this isn't going to be a movie, but it would be a cool movie like in terms of Tennessee is like, hey, this kid from California comes in and, takes over the number 1 recruiting spot from Peyton Manning's nephew and ends up leading Tennessee to a national. I mean, it's
and also Tennessee's check cleared and their rivals didn't.
Yeah, that's oof. I can't wait to get into that. That's interesting. I do want to preface this. ESPN, what do you like? Why is it even like a thing?
I kind of respect them for just going, we're never going to put effort into this, but we're going to keep making it.
We're never going to change it because like Nico is like ranked like 32nd. Nobody else has him that like even close to that. They have him 1 or 2.
And it is funny. I don't think they're trying. I think it's just laziness. But I know somebody in the ESPN scouting department will be the first one to say something when I'm not just talking Nico, any of those players don't pan out.
Yeah.
But I just don't think they're trying.
Yeah. I'm interested because like, I mean,
I also have zero respect for rivals rankings, and that will never change. I do need to say that.
You what?
I have zero respect for rivals rankings.
Oh, yeah. They're trash too.
Well, it's just during the pandemic when they were like, we reevaluated film and that's how we did this. So you're not doing a good job evaluating other years? Okay. Thank you for telling us.
Well, I know one staff that's doing a great job of, evaluations, and that's Josh Heupel.
Yeah, 100%.
Nathan Laycock was 590th in the country when he committed to Tennessee in July, and he's all the way up to 45th. I mean,
he's an athlete, man.
Just an insane senior year.
Yeah.
And if he like has that same junior year like he did his senior year, I mean, he's a 5-star.
Yeah, I would agree with it. I mean, yeah, he has to be.
I mean,
most saw him explode up
like everybody in front of him has been up that high for, since they were a sophomore in high school.
Right.
So, yeah, props to him. And I think it is, again, it doesn't matter, but it is like Tennessee fans were a little upset that, Carnell Tate didn't give him another look and, stuck with Ohio State. But Nathan Laycock right there at 45th and Carnell Tate's at 47. So, again, it's too close to really matter a whole lot, but it's
fun to talk about.
Yeah,
it's January, baby.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? Especially like to have, and I think it's only going to get better, right? Because you have a Blitnikoff winner this season. I mean, I think Tennessee is an attractive place. And that was the thing when Nico committed. It was like, where's the offensive help? Where's the tackles and everything like that? Well, I think with the transfer portal, I mean, you got to hit on evaluations like they did with Nathan Laycock, but you also got to look at the transfer portal. These guys might be look at Texas A&M's class last year. They all went there. They're all gone.
Yeah.
Well, so, I mean, it's something that hey, Nico takes over. does a guy like Francis Mauigoa, if Miami's ass this year, does he like, maybe I should have went to Tennessee?
Right. And I think too, as far as this is a great recruiting class. Like I said, not elite but great. And we talked about this with Eric Kane. This is with early signing days a factor, with recruiting starting earlier than it used to. You're now going to see like the momentum from this season isn't going to hit until the 2024 cycle and maybe even farther than that. So you do have to keep that momentum, because with even like Nathan Laycock, which, I mean, he was evaluated and a little bit different than Nico, but a guy like Nico, you're selling vision. Like you're just selling vision. When he committed, Tennessee hadn't beaten Florida, hadn't beaten Alabama, hadn't beaten LSU in Baton Rouge. Like that wasn't stuff. And those things obviously help keep that commitment. But yeah, you're selling vision. And now those 2024 recruits, 2025 recruits, you're selling success. Now you have to build on that. You have to keep it going, but you're selling actual tangible wins. You saw them happen. The Alabama game is still the greatest night of my life. I'm actually looking at a picture right now. It's the greatest night of my life.
An Alabama fan, like, I guess we tweeted like, "Thank you, Jalen Hyatt," after he like declared for the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And some Alabama fan was just like, "Why are you thanking him?" And I was like, "Because he gave his all for Tennessee and he dropped a 5-piece on Alabama." He just responded with "damn."
Oh, that was such a fun night. And what does kind of suck, I think, as of right now, you dogged on me because I've never been 100% bought in on Heupel, and it's still a little tough. It's still early. I'm getting like, if I'm not 100%, I'm 99.99999. If I'm not 100, you've seen me get hurt before. I'm guarding my heart. What does kind of suck.
You take a bullet for him right now, though.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Every Alabama win from here on out is going to be fun, but I am kind of sad for younger Tennessee fans now that won't remember that necessarily, that they don't get to experience that. That was pent up anger, just explode in joy.
Oh, yeah.
And it was awesome. And again, I hope no Tennessee fans have to experience that. I really don't, but that was cool.
And I'd love to go back, and maybe I will one day go back and like, there's a guy who I remember DMing about, I had to sell 2 tickets next to me. And I told him the price, and it was less than what they were going for online. Your cheapest ticket, it was less than that. I don't remember exactly how much it was, or I would just say it. But
at least the cheapest ticket was probably about $500 a piece.
Yeah, so I was probably doing $400 a piece, something like that. And one guy was just like, "Dude, I'd never pay that. How dare you try to rip me off?" And I was like, "Dude, have you looked at the prices?" He was like, "I don't care. You can't just help a Tennessee fan out." I was like, "Well, I'm not going to give it to you." And now, like, Tennessee won like that, that guy probably wishes he would have paid that $400.
Yeah, I mean, I told you there wasn't anything in the – you're undefeated going into that game. There was nothing in the world that could have got me out of my seat. And I'm serious. Mm-hmm. I would have been – I mean, obviously, there's a price I can go rebuy tickets, but it was special being in my family seats, everything. Like, it was special. That was a special moment for me. You would have been hard-pressed. Like, I don't think you could have put a dollar sign on it. And if I had not gone to the game – I'm not joking. I'm this big of a tennis. I would have regretted that night for the rest of my life.
Oh, 100%.
For the people that cashed in and didn't go, I feel sorry for you.
And I feel like there was 2 reactions for Tennessee fans. It was just like sit there in awe and like maybe cry, shed a tear, or just like, dude, let's go on the field. And I feel like you kind of had both of those.
I got to do both. It was awesome.
But I was just like, dude, I'm on that field. I mean, I had to, like, I thought you were going to beat me to the 50. So I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, I do. There's part of me that regrets it because I really wanted to help take that goalpost down. Not that I deserve it more than others, but I feel like I at least deserved a piece of it. No, I'm glad. Like,
still some lodged in my head if you want to dig it up.
I got this cool picture of me and Emily, and the entire field is covered. You can see the goalpost floating through the crowd in the background. So I got to see a lot of like just cool stuff. Like I just got to experience it. Yeah, I found you, man. I'm surprised I couldn't find Jesse. I don't know how you ended up with a pink hat.
Yeah.
But I'm shocked I couldn't see him out there. But no, if you didn't go, I'm not going to tell you to turn in your Vol card because you've suffered enough not to get to experience that.
Yep. Also, that asshole that was in my DM saying I was ripping him off. It's like on that. And that's the thing. Like it like really like kind of got at me because like I literally will post tickets for baseball all the time. And I look at like how much they are online and I sell them for less than what the cheapest ticket is. Because like I'm not trying to rip anybody off. Yeah, I'd like to make a little bit of money. Everybody's trying to
Season tickets went up this year, man. I'd pay an extra $300.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's out here hustling, you know. But man, I'm not trying to rip people off. That's insane.
Yeah. I still need our deck built right behind right field. The more important issues deck, right field rowdies. I mean, listen, if you want Tony Vitello, Tennessee baseball, listen up. If you want every single right fielder that steps foot in Lindsey Nelson Stadium to regret being born, put me in right field.
Yeah.
And I don't say anything vulgar. I don't say anything over the line.
Missouri right fielder.
I don't say anything over the line. I'm just in their ear the whole game. I say minuscule stuff. Cuts deep. Like that guy, that Missouri guy, he's never wearing all black cleats again the rest of his life. I mean, he looked down, he contemplated, and then didn't come back out in the eighth inning.
Got benched.
So, I think he told him. I think he said, "I'm not going back out there. You can't. There's not an amount of NIL money I can." And listen, that wasn't just me. A lot of great people out on the porch dogging him. It was great. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
give me the right field rowdies. Let's get this going.
I like it. Going back to the On3 rankings. So Nico's number 1. David Hobbs is number 29. He is still a 5-star. I think they went all the way down to 32 with their 5 stars. And then you have Nathan Laycock at 45. Tennessee had 11 in the top 200, and then 4 in the top 100. So, again, like a solid class. Like you said, not elite, like not fighting with Alabama and Georgia, but you did steal some guys away from those programs, and I think that's key.
Yeah,
stack classes like that where you're winning some of those recruiting battles, and eventually, hey, it's got to be there. If you're beating, like you're competing with them on the field, eventually you're going to compete with them in recruiting too.
Right, and I never expect to have a 15-year run like Alabama. I really don't expect to even have the 2 years Georgia just had. And we're talking about 2 of the best teams in college football. I mean, that's insane. But like you said, compete with them on a yearly basis. You're going to have to compete with them in rankings eventually. I guess just part of it.
Yep, 100%.
7-5. They were supposed to go 7-5 this year.
Yeah,
Kirby Smart needs to get into politics, man. He can convince anybody anything.
Man, what in the world?
People wouldn't have gotten on my Titanic at all if Kirby Smart wasn't there telling them to get on. That's how good he is at convincing people. It's insane.
Tennessee landed a transfer commit today in BYU defensive back. Did I do something?
No, on Tuesday we had a question about there were some I don't know if rumors is the right word, maybe some Easter eggs being planted out there about a DB transfer coming in. So we actually had a question about that, and then it hit today. So that was funny.
Yeah, so Gabe Jeudy-Lally out of BYU was previously at Vanderbilt. Actually played Tennessee twice in 2020, 2021. Had a pick against Tennessee in 2020 when JT Shrout hit him right in the chest. It was a dime.
It was JT. Okay.
It was
I had it ready.
But right in his chest. No, it wasn't our guy. No. Shocker, I know. But that was the year with Harrison Bailey kind of got us that win.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm glad I don't remember a lot of those. 2022 blocked out a lot of negative memories.
Hey, this past week was 2-year anniversary.
You tweeted it. I was like, I forgot that guy coached this team.
It seems so long ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, true.
2 years ago, Tennessee was sitting here at 3-7 with the roster overall. We just went 11.
2 years ago, everyone was expecting Jeremy Pruitt to get fired, and because the rumors were swirling up right before I think the A&M game, right?
Mm-hmm.
That news dropped about an investigation. You get through all of December, nothing. You get halfway through January, not a word. I'm thinking you can't fire him now. You've waited way too long. Like you're just gonna screw the next guy over, or not even, or end up with a Derek Dooley. Like that's what you're doing right now. And somehow, some way, Tennessee managed to get it right. I think we dog Danny White a lot. Not necessarily like us, but Tennessee fans. And I'm not saying you were wrong. It looked like he just knew who his guy was, got his guy, whatever. You know, he was bringing his guy along from the last stop, but he trusted him and he believed in him, and it's so far so good, man.
The man lit up his cigar.
I got some Cubans I need to smoke. I haven't gotten to smoke them yet.
And that's
cigars.
That's just what I like. That was probably the most underwhelming hire when it happened. It's just like
I don't know. It's pretty hard to compete when you look back.
Well, 100%. But like Butch Jones had, he had head coaching experience.
He lost to Derek Dooley.
Derek Dooley, that one was bad. That was really bad.
Yeah.
But Lane Kiffin, I mean, Jeremy Pruitt, like everybody was like, oh yeah, this guy, he's killed at Alabama. That's what we needed.
Yep. Oh, we are dumb.
Yeah,
we are dumb.
He needs to have that chart that Butch Jones has and learns how to evaluate some talent like Josh Heupel did with Nathan Laycock.
He's going to be at Alabama next year doing something. Promise you. Just expect it.
So Gabe Jeudy-Lally, I think that's how you said it, Lally.
Sure. Sounds right. Good to me.
He's got 2 years of eligibility. He had 46 tackles this past year, a half a sack, 6 pass deflections, a big corner, 6'2", 185. So, you know, we tweeted out a clip of him, you know, stopping the run. It reminded me a lot of Alontae Taylor. I don't know how similar they are playing style, but just that one play made me kind of think of him. And it just seems like Tennessee likes those big corners. That's kind of what they're recruiting. They like some tall guys that can go up and get. They're not going to get mossed. I don't think they're. You know, they're gonna be forced to play on an island sometimes with as much as Tim Banks blitzes. So, you know, I think you want some bigger corners.
Yeah, and this secondary needs a ton of help. So just warm bodies at this point, I think, is positive. And I think there's a lot of quality competition.
Yeah,
in the secondary.
I do too.
Now you got
I think there is some talent.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think adding him to that mix is going to be good, and I think too with how much the defense is on the field, if you could have a strong just 3-man rotation in there, I think that helps your secondary out a ton.
Yep. So you got 2 guys with a lot of experience in Warren Burrell and Gabe Jeudy, and then, you know, I mean, everybody was forced to have a lot of playing time this year due to injury and due to, you know, inconsistencies with Kamal Haddon and Christian Charles, Danico Slaughter, Brandon Turnage. So, I mean, like you said, there's a lot of competition there. You add in some highly touted freshmen and Christian Conyer and Ricky Gibson and Jordan Matthews. It's going to be fun to see kind of how that plays out.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I'm excited for this defense. I think they can take a step in the right direction this season. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yep. All right, let's get to Florida, dude. Oh my! It's funny because 2 years ago we fired our coach for paying too much, and now Florida's sitting here not being able to pay enough. So,
well, I mean, what in the irony? You've got Florida NIL director Darren Heitner going at Tennessee. You're a California-based high school athlete, by the way. Where was he from? I can't remember. He's from California.
Yeah,
he was from California. Who is leaning towards committing to Oregon? Comes an NIL collective tied to Tennessee with a 7-figure offer, which, by the way, never been proven. I mean, I'm going to guess it's a strong offer, but we don't know that. But claims it's not an inducement. You end up signing with Tennessee, violation of NCAA rules. I mean, then he tweeted, really need to see that contract. Brother, I'm interested in what contracts you're drawing up now. I mean, what a mess. And if you don't know what's going on, it's been rumored. Again, no proof of this. Apparently, the guy that tweeted out, he throws out a lot of stuff. But tied to a $13 million deal. That's an insane amount of money. That's an insane amount of money. $8 million is insane, too. $13 million before the guy steps on campus. They lured him away from Miami.
And well, that's the thing is like you had to put up quite a bit of amount to steal him away from Miami. Miami's giving out money like, hey, trick or treat, here's your whole bucket full.
And I think too, you really are just in a severely lose-lose situation. You're going to have to pay him some amount. You are going to have to come to something because I'm assuming there was a contract signed and in place. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe Florida can kind of just sweep this under the rug. But if there's a contract, you're paying something and he's not going to play for your school. And it can't be tied to the school. That's another thing. So what are you going to do? And I think I don't know if the NCAA does anything, though. That's the one thing. Like, do they? I have no idea.
I don't know. I just find it hilarious.
It's funny, for sure.
Couldn't happen to a better program.
Yeah, and the funny thing is I'm not dogging on him, but I wouldn't mind seeing him in Florida. I mean, he probably does look like a Heisman candidate against Tennessee, but I mean, I'm not impressed with him.
We paid the number 1 player in the country $8. They're paying $13 for the number 64 player. I mean, we got to steal.
We're out here negotiating.
Yeah.
I mean, right now Florida's banking on Graham Mertz starting. I mean, that's it. They've in their quarterback situation, wholly fascinating. I mean, you've got one guy getting arrested for child pornography. Now you have this going down. What was the other crazy thing? I feel like there was something wild. Maybe not, but yeah. Not a good time to be a Florida quarterback. Graham Mertz, watch out, buddy.
Are they going to convince Anthony Richardson to come back?
Dude, he's getting good draft projections, shockingly.
He is.
Also, I saw
which like I would way rather have Anthony Richardson than Will Levis.
Oh, 100%. Talking upside? You kidding me?
Yeah.
100%. It's insane. I still will never understand it. And listen, it's not Will Levis's fault. You're not the one saying you're a top 10, top draft pick, whatever. Yeah. I feel bad for you in that sense, but he's just
out there drinking mayo.
He's not. I don't know if he's a career backup. That's how bad he is.
I love it.
I got to do. Also, was it you telling me, or did I just read it somewhere? There was someone's draft board. I don't know who it was. Something how credible it is. Had Jalen Hyatt going at number 23, 26, 23 to the Chargers.
I've seen some of him where he's sneaking into the first round. Yeah,
that's insane. I think his stock goes up after the combine because he's going to wow you at the combine.
Yeah,
for sure. So, but first round blows my mind.
Hey, we can develop.
Oh, it's a good time to be a Vol. Bad time to be a Gator. Feels good.
Dude, I just can't like I mean, they're always going to they have a probably top 15, top 10 recruiting class still. But I mean, if you don't have that, I mean, you're basically just brain dead.
You're Ole Miss.
Yeah, because Florida you can literally drive 10 miles down the road and find a 4-star recruit.
Several, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, if you drive like an hour north, you're at a place that has 59 Division I athletes on their campus. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. So, yeah, it's just crazy. Like, I think Billy Napier is a good coach. I just don't know. I don't know with it. Just seems like it's just terrible timing.
I used to believe that too, and then I had someone, I believe it was at the Kentucky tailgate, Give me a lot of good points as to why he's not. I can't remember off the top of my head, but a lot of good points that he is Sunbelt Billy, and he's not good. So, which I hope they're right. I do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, just funny. I mean, $13 million, and they're like, "Oh yeah, come here." I mean, NIL, like guys that are looking for that NIL money, and I'm not talking about 13 million, but guys that are looking for that piece of the pie. Hey, you got to make sure that's going to happen. Like you got to have, hey, signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah,
I need that.
And I don't, again, 13 million. We don't know if that's the number, but it's obvious it was big enough, and it was big enough that they could not get it to him. It was that big.
Yeah,
that they could not find the money anywhere.
And it just seems like that they're like, yeah, we're going to give you this. He signs, and they're like, oh, I can't give. Like, I mean, that just looks terrible on Florida's part. Even if that's like not the case, they're like, man, we try to get it, we just don't have it right now.
Well, I mean, it could have been contract disputes in terms of the original contract said you get on campus, here's your money, and then he gets there, and it's like, oh no, this is paid out over. You got to be here for 3 years, you can't transfer. Like it could easily be something like that. The fact of the matter is you agreed on something and you didn't pay him. Because I don't think you release him out of – maybe you do just to not deal with it. I don't know. It's weird. Regardless, it's weird. He never even made it. The guy played an hour away, and he didn't even show up to campus.
Well, the thing is, like, I mean, why would you not let him out of his letter of intent? Like, he's probably not going to play this year anyway.
Right.
And then, I mean, and then you're just going to leave. So why would you not just let him go?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it's probably – that's why I don't know how – I think some of this could be a little blown out of proportion in the sense of like the 13 million number. Could they – again, maybe it was they tried to change the I don't know. Like I think the bottom line, they botched it. I mean, that's the bottom line. They did botch it no matter how you slice it. But that's why I'm saying, like, could they have maybe tried to be like, we're not letting you out, and then decided it's not worth the fight? Just because, like you said,
well, I mean,
transfer now, he's gone.
I mean, with the transfer portal and NIL, like, I mean, look at Taven Jackson. He was sitting there going to be the backup. Nico comes in, he sees the writing on the wall. He's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And then, like, what recruit's going to come in and be like, yeah, I want to. I mean, for the 2024 class, what quarterback are you going to really get?
Right.
Because, I mean, they're not going to sit behind Nico for 3 years. That's just not the way the world works anymore.
Right.
So Florida probably lost some guys already. Because they're like, Jaden Rashad is coming in. I'm probably never going to play, so I'm out. And then Jaden Rashad is probably not even going to end up at Florida. So
he's definitely not now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not now. It's a mess. I love watching others getting a mess. NIL is crazy. It's still very much the wild, wild west. I don't know how the NCAA polices it. I don't know if they can. I'm just glad that Tennessee somewhat has their crap together. I mean, that's good. So,
it seems like it anyway. We're hiding it well if we're not.
Yeah. I don't know. Are we endorsing ones? I do the Vol Club. They seem like they do a good job. I don't know if we're going to do that, but that's who because I can't give a lot of money. I'm not a super booster or anything, but I want guys to be at Tennessee, and I know that NIL isn't the only way, but it's an important way. So
yeah, 100%. Yeah. It seems like they're well taken care of. I mean, we heard the Jalen Wright stuff, and that was squared away. He's no longer leaving. So
Shay, get your bag, dude. I respect it.
Yeah.
Get your bag.
Get paid.
We all should get paid what we're worth. Get paid.
Dude, I'm waiting for my check.
100%. I need NIL. We got to get with Hubba Bubba. That's who we got to get with.
That's right.
We still got to get with Hubba Bubba. Season's close. Or no, Big League Chew. They already got Hubba Bubba. Big League Chew is who we're getting.
Big League Chew.
Sorry.
They got Double Bubble, not Hubba Bubba.
Yeah, Double Bubble. Sorry, Hubba Bubba is the little canister, isn't it?
Yeah.
That would be awesome if they kept them in their back pocket. Honestly, I think we're gonna go Hubba Bubba now. I think we are, and they have to carry it in their back pocket. I think that's what we're doing. We're changing it up.
Let's go with some segments.
All right, I got some questions. Obviously, any more transfer rumors, you nailed that one down. Unless there's more that you want to address.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, I don't think they're ever going to be like. Are you really ever truly done in the transfer portal? I don't know. Like, I mean, the spring is going to open things up. I think there is a small window where if you're in it, like you can still like enroll in school. So, maybe the next couple of days we see somebody end up on campus, maybe a defensive back. I don't know.
Right. And then this one, this is coming off for two reasons, I would imagine. But do we or should we retire Eric Berry's number now that he's in the College Football Hall of Fame? I meant to look this up. Let me see if I can do it real quick.
It's all the things that you have to get. It's like it's pretty impossible almost.
What's that? To get in the College Football Hall of Fame?
No, to get your like number retired in Tennessee.
Oh, I didn't know there were like things you had to hit on.
Yeah, you have to do you have to win like your award, like a Bolitnikoff. I think an All-American. Then you have to do something in the pros. Yeah, there's a couple things that you have to like get, and it's like tough.
Gotcha.
I mean, Al Wilson didn't even meet the criteria, I'm pretty sure.
To be eligible, they have to achieve 3 of the 5 criteria: SEC Player of the Year, National Award, Player of the Year, Sullivan, or similar honor, first team All-American, career record holder in a significant category as determined by the committee at UT, SEC, or national level upon completion of career, national championship during tenure, and then there is a nominating committee that will determine when an individual will be honored with a retired jersey, and any member of the committee can bring a nomination. So yeah, that is, quite a bit.
Yeah.
I would have to look up. I know he missed out on career interception yards because they ruled that Georgia play they ruled it a fumble, and he would have had it.
But he was first team All-American.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he won that award.
Yeah.
It's got to be close.
I think he would meet 3 of the 5. Let me see if I can pull up all of his stuff. And I mean, as far as from a fan standpoint,
I think you should.
Tell me why he shouldn't.
Right.
Now, if they have criteria, that's a little different, But
also, like, why
Yeah,
do we have to stick? I mean, we changed the rules for Chris Lofton, didn't we?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure, like, there's one thing he didn't get.
So he won the Jim Thorpe, and he won the he's an All-American.
But he doesn't get the career. Does he have the interception record?
That's what I'm trying to find out. It's going to take a minute. Anyways,
that's fine.
We said
he should be.
He probably should be. And maybe you float some exceptions in there. And I mean, when you look at the names that he's with, and he impacted some teams, especially like 2009, like not so great teams, if we're just going to be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, why not? I think that would be a great next jersey. I'm not big on the number retirements because I do think they should be special, but at some point you technically run out of numbers.
Yeah, especially in basketball, that'd be pretty tough.
I think football, though, I think it is now officially jersey retirements, not numbers. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I mean,
I think this even says retired jerseys, not retired numbers. So
okay.
Yeah. No, Eric Berry probably should be in the.
I feel like Al Wilson
upper deck. Yeah, I guess he doesn't meet. He only meets 2 of the criteria.
Uh-huh.
No, he'd meet 3, wouldn't he? National champion.
Oh yeah,
All-American
award.
I'd have to look him up
did
too.
he win an award? Yeah, I don't know.
I'd have to look him up. Next question, and I like this. This resulted from Tuesday night. Why are Tennessee fans so overreactionary? Is that a word? Overreactionary. You saw the takes on Tuesday, but we react to good as well. What is it? I think it's multiple things. I think anytime you're entrenched, like you're involved enough where you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, social media, Reddit, you're on the message boards. For any team, you see the overreactions more often. Because I'm now like I stay in like different subreddits for like Alabama, Florida, Auburn, all these different SEC subreddits just to kind of see what other fans are saying about their teams. And everyone overreacts. I mean, you should have seen the Alabama takes. There were some that were like, we're really good or we're absolutely terrible. Like, we're really good, we need to play the playoff, or we do not deserve the playoff. Saban should be fired type deal. So I think it's that. And Tennessee fans are just a little more passionate than everybody else. So
yeah, we're just really good at getting the headlines.
Yeah.
So it was Shiano Sunday. It was, burning the couches with Lane Kiffin. It was, tearing down the goalposts this past season. It was heckling Trey Morgan. I mean, stuff like that. Like you said, it's just a little bit. We got a little juice to us, a little extra.
I don't think it's bad.
No.
I think it's good you got people like Josh Heupel, Tony Vitello, Danny White that feed into it a little bit and can spin it positive a lot of the times. But yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, it's, when you're really bad, your fans are probably going to be really bad. When you're really good, your fans are going to be really good.
And honestly, I would rather have pissed off fans than apathetic fans. Like if you're just like, who cares?
Yeah, you don't want fans that don't care.
Yeah. Next one is Landon. When are you going to start playing golf? This isn't from me, by the way. This is from someone else. I think we talked about golf on Sunday or last Thursday. So they wanted to know when you were going to start playing.
We'll see.
Soon. Listen, we're going to go to Top Golf in Vegas. We're going to tweak your swing a little bit. We're going to have you hitting over the net in Vegas, and you're going to love it. And you're going to be hooked after that.
All right, we'll see. I mean, I would like going with y'all. I don't want to be like so into it that I'm just like, oh, got to go golf today. Got to go do this today. Like, I don't want it to be a chore. I want it to be a hobby, right?
No, there's definitely going to be like a social aspect, especially when you start out. Like you only want to go with friends because you don't pair with randoms when you're bad, even though it's really not that bad to be bad and pair with randoms. Now you might get stuck with one guy you're going to get stuck with one dickhead at some point. It's just part of it.
Yeah.
But when you start playing for a while, you'll start going on your own and not necessarily be paired. You may just go out on like a summer evening and walk 9 because it's beautiful and fun. But yeah, a lot of it is the social aspect for sure.
Yeah. So
no, you'll be doing it.
We'll
get you there.
I'm just a dude trying to be a dude. So eventually it's going to happen.
We can't play basketball anymore. So yeah, you got to do it. My next one is, this is going to go into my stupidity. How many extra points do you think out of 5, do you think you can make in an NFL game?
In an NFL game? Like an entire NFL game?
Yeah. You had 5 attempts.
Oh, man. Probably maybe 1.
Landon, I got bad news for you, bud. You'd make 0.
Oh, in the NFL?
In an NFL game.
Oh, no, I wouldn't hit 1. No, there's no way.
I wouldn't hit 1. And I'm not like saying I'm fantastic or I'm good. But I'm better than I would say.
It's like a 35-yard field goal.
33-yard, I think.
Yeah.
You also have 1.2 seconds to get it off. You've got 250-pound plus men barreling down on you. You're not making any. And I'm not. Again,
I don't think I can make one without anybody if I wasn't getting rushed anyway. I don't think
I could teach you to make a 33-yard field goal. I can teach you.
Okay.
But again, there's a lot of aspects of it that still you got to get perfect. And you couldn't do it. And again, not great, but I think of the average person that was tweeting about it that said, I could do that. I'm better than I would say the average. And I would make exactly 0. I would have probably 3-4 blocked. Because the timing is, again, I'm not saying kicking is the hardest part of football. It's probably the easiest part. But it's still extremely difficult. Kicking field goals.
Yeah. But that's his job.
No. That's a pitiful offense.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the people that are saying
it didn't impact it.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Well, it pisses me off, and I'll say it kind of in jest sometimes when I see a really bad pass, like I could have thrown that. And when I say that, I literally mean like the one that JT Shrout throws at guys in his chest. I could probably do that. So I say that in jest. I don't think I could. But yeah, the people that are legitimately like, no, that is inexcusable. Anybody can do that because they see kicking as not that difficult. But it is. And then it is bad that you see, what's his name, the safety for Kansas City, roll out there and look incredible. But people also forgot to tell you initially that he kicked his entire high school career too.
Yeah, he's a freak athlete.
Yeah. And I mean, if you go and look at the timing, I would guarantee the timing's not perfect. Right. If you had time to try to heavy load one side and get a block, you may. But it's incredibly difficult. And like you said, dude's a freak athlete.
Dude, what I love is during baseball season when people, like, somebody strikes out and they're like, oh my God, I could have hit that. No, you would not. You would never touch it. Never.
Your bat wouldn't get around.
No,
by the time the ball hit the glove.
And if it did somehow touch it, it's going to be a foul tip because you're not getting enough barrel on that to put it anywhere. So
100%. I mean, there's often
I love the armchair quarterbacks. It's awesome. I love it.
It is. But no, the kickers, I love them. Yeah.
I will say this: when somebody drops a pass, I wouldn't say I'd catch them all, but there's some like I definitely would have caught that.
Hand up, I'll say this. I could probably catch it. Now, could I get to that point on the field to catch it? No, absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not. So there is
one JT Shroud through Gabe Jeudy. I mean, I would have caught that.
That's yours.
Times out of 100.
Right. Do I get to that point? Probably not. But I catch it. You mentioned it's his job. To be fair to that, and it is his job, and he should make them. You shouldn't be going 1 of 5 from extra point ever. But there's only 32 positions in the league. I promise you every week they're looking for a guy who can make them.
Yeah.
So, like, that's how hard it is. Let me just put that in perspective. That's how hard it is.
Did you see CeeDee Lamb's kind of pep talk to – is it Maher? Is that how you say it?
No.
You didn't? Well, so he comes up to him and he sits on the bench and he's like, don't worry about it, man. He's like, you bailed us out so many times. He's like, don't worry, we got you.
Well, that's another thing too. Kicking's a lot like shooting a free throw in the sense of like it's very just like repetitive, or like a golf swing, or
it's like it's like what 90% mental.
Yeah, like a throw to first, like something you do all the time, and sometimes you just get the yips.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just part of it.
Yep.
So it is what it is. But that was one of my stupidities. I've also got 2 more. I'll start off. First off, I hate for the Alabama basketball team, like the situation they're going through. I got to imagine, like, if I found out Landon murdered someone in cold blood, that would be a hard thing for me to go through. Someone I'm really close to. I don't think I'm picking up the phone and calling Ray Lewis, though. And I don't think if I did, I don't think I'd be telling people. Nate Oates just being like, yeah, I'll talk to Ray Lewis about this. He's in a little bit different position than your team. He is. So maybe if you do that, just don't tell people. That's an interesting guy to call. I'll say that.
I didn't know he did that. That's
Oh, you didn't see that?
No.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He called Ray Lewis. I mean, why not bring OJ Simpson in and talk to the team?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he knows.
It's insanity.
And apparently he didn't. Investigators think he just supplied the gun.
Yeah, it was his gun, I guess is what I read. I really haven't kept up with that much. But it sounds like the other guy did it because I guess there were 2. I didn't even know there were 2 guys arrested for this.
Yeah.
And then, that I haven't read enough about it, so I don't know exactly. But, yeah, I heard that same thing.
Yeah. Still, you're going away.
Brother, if you're going to do that, don't do it in a southern state. It's like public hanging coming soon.
Yeah.
It's not good. Death penalty is very much on the table for you, unfortunately. So,
you got any more questions?
No, that was all the questions. That was my stupidity. The natives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have one, and it's the Indiana guy on not Jeopardy. What's it called?
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune.
Apparently that's like a 10-year-old video.
Oh, is it really?
which is crazy because I've seen it. I've seen it several times. Like, poor guy. He's just resurfacing on the internet every few years. Poor guy.
Mythological hero, Achilles.
Achilles. Achilles.
He says Achilles.
Oh, I thought it was Achilles.
No, Achilles. He's like, no, we can't accept that.
Which is insane. He solved the puzzle. Why do we? I don't watch Jeopardy or not Jeopardy. Wheel of Fortune. So I don't know how it works. But you're gonna make him say it. He guessed all the letters. That seems way harder to me.
Yeah, Achilles. Dang, that's the yips.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that one is bad.
I mean, he was just like reading.
Right. He's just never had to say the word aloud. That's his problem.
Poor guy.
He knows how to read. He read it right. Dang Greeks don't know how to spell. It should be a K, Achilles. I do have one more stupidity. I'm going to stay in the great state of Alabama.
Okay.
Did you see this? It's the Hoover High School baseball coach. He coached Team USA, I guess U18 or the other high school team, whatever, this summer. And he was the pitching coach, and one of his players played on the team, on Team USA. And the see, I'm this guy now. AHS, their high school association, equivalent of TWSAA, whatever it is, Alabama High School, blah, blah, blah. They ruled that he can't coach in the season or the player can't play, because there's a rule about coaches coaching their high school players out of season, which is a good rule in terms of club teams and all that. It is. But can we not make an exception for, number one, Team USA? This isn't a normal club team. He's not recruiting them. Like, he's not deciding who plays on the team. Number two, he was a pitching coach. He never coached this guy. And then they get to put it in the coach's court to say, well, you can tell the kid he can't play if you want to coach. What an absurd thing to do.
Well, and like Team US, like who else is supposed to coach them?
That would be coaches. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my question. Is like, you just want some. Let's get the best middle school coach to coach
the high school team.
Yeah. I mean, like that. It's like you said, it's Team USA. It's not a regular
travel team.
Yeah, it's not. It's an all-star team.
Right. And it's one that represents the country too. And it kind of sucks too, because they knew this. It does make me think like maybe, and he said if he knew this was going to be the outcome, he would have went home to avoid it, like the baseball coach. But it's just like, can we have a little situational awareness? Can we make some decisions based on logic and not this
just
hard?
Because what the rule book says.
Yeah, you have an executive committee that can meet and make these decisions. You can have people vote on it because it's an association that the schools already vote on things. And I would assume, and I think it's a good assumption, that every single baseball coach or athletic director would vote, yes, he should, like that. Neither of them should be ineligible if that came to a vote. Every single one.
There's a reason why gray is a color. Not everything is black and white.
Yeah, it's insanity to me.
Yeah,
insanity.
I got one more, and it's Go Vols Extra. It says Tennessee football fans worry Josh Heupel mismanages Vols receivers, but they shouldn't. I didn't read the article, so I'm assuming that they're like he doesn't mismanage them. But the fact that you even brought this up means you're probably thinking it. We just had a Blitnikoff winner. He's probably going to be a first, second rounder. Cedric Tillman probably the same way.
Right.
And then Nathan Laycock. He was 590th, and now he's 54th in the country based off evaluation. But yeah, he shouldn't come here because Tennessee mismanages receivers.
Well, and then Brian Rice commented back and said, you'd be shocked the amount of people that call in and say that. I'm like, that doesn't mean Tennessee fans, like, are you going to write an article about everything radio callers say? Because you're going to have a lot of weird articles out there.
Right. And like, it's fair to say that they play three guys. Yeah. They don't have a huge, they don't play just a ton of guys. Now, Squirrel White did get in there a little bit. Ramel Keaton got in there a little bit. And then it was kind of tightened up. When people got hurt, when Cedric went down, it was Ramel Keaton. Squirrel White would come in every now and then. But, I mean, you got Brew McCoy and Jalen Hyatt. You don't want to get them off the field. So, like, what? I mean, how is that mismanaging when we're scoring when we have the number one offense in the country?
Right. It's just who were you refuting? The same three guys that call in, because that's another thing. Is it the same three guys that call in week after a game and go, he's mismanaging? Like that's what are we talking about?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, people just look for a reason to try to coach, and hey, there's a reason why they don't get paid the big bucks.
Right.
I think that's. Oh, I do have one more. It was this guy. He tweeted, "Ladies, I'm 2 people down from the Tony Vitello," and it's just kind of another decent-looking guy with a beard and a baseball hat.
She said that she knew him, and I'm curious if she did or if she was just covering. I don't know. She made sure every person knew. She replied to every single person, which makes me think, I don't know.
To be fair, I mean, if I didn't know exactly what Tony Vitello looked like, I just, saw glimpses, I would think, that might be like, I mean, if you're throwing back some drinks, maybe he looks like Tony Vitello, but man, you definitely don't tweet a picture and say this is Tony Vitello.
He's wearing a Durham Bulls hat too, which is funny.
Yeah.
Thought it was an Orioles hat at first.
Oh gosh.
He's an Orioles
That's all I
guy.
got.
He's got to be.
He's a Cubs fan.
He is a Cubs fan. I saw that. So he's got to cheer for a bunch of teams now.
Yeah, wherever Max Scherzer's at, probably.
Scherzer for sure. Got to be a bunch. So
Benintendi.
All right, I don't have anything else. That's it for me.
That's all I got.
Fun.
It's been a lot of fun. Guys, thanks for listening. We will be back. When will we be back? Sunday. You don't have a thing you have next Thursday, right? Or is it Sunday?
Maybe. I need to double check. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. If you've been to Vegas and you have recommendations and you're a good listen, I'm not a good recommender, so I don't do it unless people reach out to me. So if you're not, just don't do it. But if you've been to Vegas, no good places, tell me where, because we're still looking. We're still trying to decide on some places.
Yeah, I got some guys that'll give us some recommendations.
Shout out to Scott. We are going to Ellis Island the first night. That looks like a good time.
Let's get it.
That steakhouse, I got a recommendation. That looks very good. I'm excited for that one. Pretty much everywhere we're going, I've gotten recommendations. But
cool. Yeah, it should be fun.
So got a lot of gaps.
Also, go check out Underdogs. Great sponsor. Love them. They should have a giveaway for us to do soon. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you back on Sunday. Guys, we'll bring the boat in, and we out. It's me, isn't it?
I don't know. You decide. You do it.
I got it.
You get us.